kind of our newly revamped COVID-19 focused series of CEO series interviews. And today I am joined by one of my best friends in the whole wide world. And you're just going to hear that. Shane Skillen, CEO of Hotspexs, the Canadian mastermind, and just wonderful guy extraordinaire. Shane, welcome.
Thanks, Lenny. Really excited to be here. Interesting times, but good to be collaborating with a big brain like yours to figure out how we, as an industry and maybe even a civilization, can get through this.
See why I like Shane? That's why I like Shane, right there. So he is the best bullshitter I've ever met in my whole life, and I mean that in all the best possible ways. So
just can't take the praise. I don't know why you can't take praise. I'm gonna do a survey just so you can see it in an unbiased, double-blind way how much people love and respect and admire you, so that you see that it's a factual point. Don't be so modest. Thank you.
I have to, or else my arrogance just takes over everything. So this is the role of my wife primarily in our lives. So she is
to
the
even
head
you
shaker.
out. Yes, I have the same thing. It's nice that we're all spending so much time with them. I mean, here's my new coworkers right back here, and they definitely keep things interesting. And to be honest, there's lots of upsides to this because you're just spending a lot more good family time versus there's no travel happening, which I had to fill that with something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about that. Let's dive in. So, 3 weeks ago we're talking about all the cool stuff that Hotspexs is doing and what 2020 was going to look like, and now, the world's changed. So tell me kind of what's going on in your neck of the woods. What's going on with Hotspexs and in Canada, particularly as response to COVID-19.
Yeah, so it's not too dissimilar from what's what you're probably hearing from other people and reading about. Once in a generation event has happened here, and what does it mean for society? I've got a lot of people I'm connected to. I broke LinkedIn last year because you can't get over 30,000 connections. So I literally am getting 30,000 streams of things happening across a number of different industries. And through our client base, we're looking at the other day, we work with over 400 different brands around the world. And so we've got exposure to aerospace, airlines, restaurants, government, telco, the circus. We work for Cirque du Soleil. And just to see some of those industries just get decimated and the speed at which they were decimated is just, unprecedented. So I've got a lot of sympathy for a lot of my friends and colleagues that are living through that. I will say though, I'm also just amazing to see the humanity in all of this. I've been on maybe 30 Zoom calls with CEOs, groups of CEOs, CMOs, charity organizations, interest groups, just having a lot of conversations around what to do and what's next. And what I'm particularly pleased about is just the way my team at Hotspexs has been reacting to this. It's a natural reaction to be scared, terrified. Some of them, including myself, we've got older members of our family that could have been exposed that might have health risks. Thankfully we're busy. And I feel almost, I feel ashamed to say that. I feel bad for some of our colleagues in other industries and other parts of even the research ecosystem that aren't busy, but largely through our followings of you, sir, and what the insights through Green Book and your push to automate, digitize, and move to non-conscious, man, that was it. And so we, through learning, through the GRIT study, and through your advice, when we engaged you to help us out with our strategy a few years ago, you told us exactly what to do, man. And so because we did that, we've noticed an uptick in business actually. So we have all of our research is done virtually online. And so for some of the biggest consumer packaged goods companies in the planet, we do virtual shopper-based design research. So that's how do you win at shelf? How do you do shopper marketing? How do you create a great pack design? How do you make sure for that Byron Sharp's mental availability or physical ability when you show up, how do you win? And so, man, we've done that. We do that for a lot of companies, and some that were holding out and not wanting to go virtual. Well, this unfortunately has been the impetus to do that. So, some big CPGs have through now by necessity are moving their ability to understand how shopping behavior works online. And so, dude, massive hats off to you and on behalf of the industry, because you were very clear and explicit in the grit report about what to do and where the ball was headed. The ball is there, and it might have gotten past there a little bit because of the thing that's happened with COVID. So, and our team is busy. Thankfully, we went full virtual, I guess about a week and a bit ago, like before we were asked to, just because you could just see what was coming. And I've got a lot of friends in the medical community in the US and in Canada, and they, tell you what's what before you maybe read about it in the paper. We run Microsoft Teams, which I would recommend to anybody watching this trying to figure out how to do digital properly. The fellow that runs Ernst & Young, which is 380,000 employees globally, is full remote now, and they're doing it all through Microsoft Teams. And so Microsoft Teams has been great for us. We've had some challenges with other technology programs of some of our clients. And so that virtualization has been good. Now we're dealing with, how do we calm our staff? How do we take care of them? How do we take care of their families? And that has been interesting. I mean, again, getting into all these different groups about different things that you can do. We still have our Monday morning meeting where about 100 of our staff call in every morning to a virtual meeting where we're all on video and we can all talk. We're doing virtual happy hours. We are, our head of talent is doing Name That Desk, where she's sending pictures of home desks around so you can kind of see like how people live. I mean, here's mine. So DJ tables, you got skis in the background, got Monopoly actually. Here's the games room over here for our kids that were playing Monopoly this morning. Got this whole other wing in this office actually too, where we've got the exercise gym room there, my wife working out. Here's the kitchen. There's a Peloton back there, state-of-the-art exercise equipment. And so we've just found it useful to actually do that, to have people walk us around their spaces. And then knowing that, some people are going into isolation is tough too. So we provide BetterHelp, and I'd actually outright like to make that offer to anybody that watches us or that needs us and that's in the insights industry. There's a platform called BetterHelp, which is online mental health psychologists that are available to chat and to read your journal. And so every single one of our staff, and now I think most of their extended family, have BetterHelp subscriptions, and we've got a Hotspexs package. And so I'm just more than happy to donate that to anybody at Greenbook or anybody that's interested. I'll put my email up at the end of this. If you would like to get on BetterHelp, highly suggest you do it. This is going to be a mentally traumatic experience for people, depending on how long a quarantine lasts for. Some people say 2 more weeks, some people say 8 weeks. Germany, I just heard from someone in bank continuity, is planning a two-year horizon to actually exit the COVID threat. So the key is to just stay positive. And so, yesterday I went to the office with a mask on and gloves. One of our staff forgot a yoga mat, so I got a yoga mat, brought it down to her condo, sort of talked across each other for 10 minutes. Someone else forgot her plants in the office, which she was worried about. So I'm driving her plants up to a place about an hour away tomorrow on the way to our cottage where we're going to hunker down for a while. Like weights to our head of finance. I mean, I'm just like at the ready 24/7, anything our staff needs, ready to do it. And the same goes true with our clients as well too, which I can transition to clients now if you want to hear what we hear is going on with them.
Yeah, I do, but I want to follow up. One, that's all amazing. And for anybody who knows you, not surprising, because that's just who you are. So
thanks, Lenny.
Thank you. You're a great guy, dude. You can take compliment too. Before we get into clients, we'll kind of segue into clients. So Hotspexs, your main claim to fame is your map, right? Your emotional map.
Yeah, we got it right here, right there. There's the map. It's got all the zones on it. I mean, I've got these everywhere. What's that? All right. So the kids are coming. It's okay. It's this time and age. Lenny's kids come. My kids can come.
It's the new normal.
So we have the map, exactly. So we use the map to help brands figure out where they should position on here, and keep asking your question, and I can tell you how it's actually proving incredibly useful to our global clients right now.
Well, so that's the question. So I've been hearing a lot of clients trying to understand the usefulness of data now, knowing that there is obviously a whole different emotional construct and response happening right now. This color and everything. So how are you helping your clients navigate that in terms of understanding? Yeah, 3 weeks ago, here was the standard emotional state. Now, here's the standard emotional state.
Yeah.
What does that look like in the future? If you're even seeing a difference. I've heard anecdotally a few folks, they're really not seeing a difference from a traditional testing standpoint. I have a hard time believing that, but I mean, the data is the data. We'll see.
Yeah.
What's happening with you guys?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So we've had some clients pause research, some clients order more research. Look, what I'm excited about is that this will pass. And I think, it's actually a screen back here, but so the economist says, the world is closed, which it is, but it's not going to be closed forever. Some people say, it could require 8 months. Here's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about, this is a Deutsche Bank prediction. You probably can't see this, but this was the pre-virus GDP. They're predicting a massive V-shaped recession, which is going to come quick, come fast and furious. The key will be, and this is our calling as insights professionals everywhere, is to help that V take hold again, because there will be a new consumer out there that's scared, that is a little bit, maybe underemployed. Their assets, depending on when the stock market rebounds, might be wiped out. That is a very significant mindset change. And the spot that they're in right now is they're operating at a spot of fear. So what research do you do? So I think what we're talking to our clients about is there's a during right now. So depending on how long this quarantine lasts, what do you do? How do you build brand? How do you set up your go-to-market? How do you figure out how to message to consumers? What are the ads? What are the ads? What are the products? And how do you make sure people are getting your stuff and are appreciating the empathy that the brand has for people in general? But then to use the map, the longer term issue is, and our clients are asking, because a lot of brands like cars and the circus and candy like to live out here in interesting, inspiring, and fun. We predict, and we're certainly in field with research right now, that there's going to be a shift to here where consumer needs are moving to wanting things that are familiar, nurturing, and trusted. So all the advice that we've done for our clients, we added up their revenue. I mean, our clients do over a couple $2 trillion in revenue every year. And we've given them advice about where to position that brand, called their brand right space, to maximize that growth. We predict that that's going to change for potentially an extended period of time, depending on how we bounce back from all of this. So to answer your question, we've got some clients pausing research, some clients doing considerably more research. And I would say the more sophisticated clients, the more marketing focused, bigger budget clients are doubling down, because lots of white papers came out. Last time there was a session, P&G went and doubled down, grew their brands very, very dramatically. Lots of other brands did that as well too. Even something out of the BCG's got a great paper coming out of the Depression about how 3 automotive companies have evolved as a result of that force to innovate. And so we see, we work with a vast swath of brands, and you get consumer packaged good companies like a Procter & Gamble, essentially the best marketer in the world, because they're selling goop, but they're making people love it, want it, and buy it again because of the prowess of the marketing and the deep emotional connections that they have to people. Whereas not-for-profits don't have that level of marketing prowess. And so we see very different reactions to what's happening here. And it's great to see that people are already starting to talk about, okay, so what next? And that's the key point, is how do us as insights professionals be the guiding beacon through this? And if you think about a war metaphor, you're watching lots of war movies out. I just watched that. I think it's called 1914. The marketers right now are in the trenches. They are wondering what to do with the ads that they run, what to do with their media plans. Holy shit, how do we even talk about our brand right now? Oh man, that ad we shot last week had someone's fingers in their mouth. Can't do that. That one had high-fiving in it. Can't do that. That one talks about dying. Can't do that. So the marketers are in the trenches. The research people the insights pros have a chance to pull back and wait until, the ceasefire is called. Let's go back to work. And that's where I really think the marketers and chief marketing officers are going to be looking to insights people to say, okay, what do we do now? Is there a new consumer? What are our new need states? How do we reposition our brands so that we can actually help power that turnaround? And I'm just excited about it. And I've been bouncing off my staff and our clients, and everyone is jazzed, man. Like, they are excited to actually help lead the world through this economic downturn, because unless that consumer engine gets going again, we're stuck. Unless you can get people being open to buying, open to traveling, open to consuming, we're jammed. And so I see a lot of clients, there's a lot of fear in clients right now, but I see clients getting more and more excited about that role that they're going to play in being able to do that. So I think there's a lot of, you know, career upside and career protection and career growth. And I mean, and Hotspexs, like 2 years ago, we announced that we weren't just about building brands anymore. We're also about building careers. So we're very focused on building the careers of our staff and the careers of our clients. So we started to study, how do you do that? And how do you do things that a chief marketing officer really, really appreciates? And believe it or not, it's topical talking to you, Lenny, because they appreciate innovation. They want to work with insights providers that are onboarding new innovations into the company, because if you're not innovating, you're dying. And so again, you know, thanks to the Grit Report and the Green Book for helping us to always be staying ahead of that innovation, because it's allowed to help us build those careers of our clients. So we have conversations with our clients, not just about, you know, the crisis, but we'll also say, you know, like let's talk about positioning you to come out of this as a better leader, as a more valuable person inside your organization. Because I mean, you know, it's very rare that opportunities like this come along for a whole industry. And like I said, I truly believe the insights industry, this is going to be our moment to shine, is to go and help understand how to build brands in the new market reality when this thing's over.
I couldn't agree more. Totally inspiring. And I think, you know, there's even a psychological component for us, right? If I stop and I'm reading the headlines and listen to the news, and you know, that just drives fear. So for me as an individual, as a person, right, the only way that I can deal with that for myself is like, no, this is what it is. Now let's think about the future, right? And that gives me hope, gives me energy. You know, it keeps the fear and the at bay. So I think not only is that a wonderful solution from a business standpoint, right? Even just we as humans, we have to be thinking about what comes next, right? You know, that's what gets us going. I'm
Absolutely,
guessing that you're the same way, right? 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, you're sitting there going, oh shit, what if this happens? And you know, that fear. I'm a dad, I'm you know, husband, et cetera, that visceral, you know, things that we identify with. And the only way to fight that is to start thinking ahead, right? Where do we
and
go?
You know that, and you know, here, preaching to the choir. I mean, that is absolutely right. And you know what? Like, we don't have a choice. And I mean, yeah, a lot of there's going to be a lot of pain through this potentially, but we'll get through it. Look at what humanity has gotten through over the years. I mean, life is still, we're living longer than we ever have before. Look at all the creature comforts that we have. I mean, we have conquered our own biology. And just know, like, you know, a president, I don't know who it was, it might have been Roosevelt. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Fear is a negative form of stress, and it's designed to have us take action. And so that's the thing to do, is always be taking action. If you wallow in it, you know, you're not gonna be able to get on your front foot. We've got Hotspexs. We innovated a lot last year. We launched a media company, launched a data company. We did a partnership with Deloitte to create a data and media tool that they can go target people with. And we also launched a pomade company. So we sell, I don't know if I have any lying around here, we sell Conmodo pomade. My partner on it owns a salon, and he's decimated. He had to fire 80 hairstylists, and he's just he was kind of holed up in his house with his kids, and like same conversation like we're having here, but kids running around on him, and you can see the fear. The minute we started talking about, okay, Jay, well, how are you gonna get on your front foot? Like, how does my hair look, man? Like, would you make my hair look better for all the webinars that I'm gonna do lately? Should I shave? And he's like, no, do this and this. I'm like, do you see, Jay, how you're now actually getting on your front foot and you're adapting to the current situation? You're providing value to people that are going to be on all these video conferences. They don't look like crap when they're on video conferences. I mean, if I was in a meeting with you, who cares what I look like? But this is going to exist in the internet forever. So I need to look my best. And so that notion of him getting on his front foot, he's now going to start doing consultations with people to make sure they've got the right hair products. A whole new Shopify platform that we're going to launch is going to be hey, our product con motto is going to give you the confidence to move forward. It's going to give you the confidence to move out of this economic downturn and get back to work and get back to it. And just seeing that light a fire under him was amazing. And that is our job. That is going to be our job to do through the brands that we work with. I mean, there's $2 trillion spent a year in marketing communications. That is what gets people to do stuff, to buy stuff, to get excited about things, to enjoy experiences, and insights inform that. And so you'll watch, it'll be the brands, consumer brands, that get us out of all this stuff by getting us excited to consume and getting us excited to live again.
Yeah. So now everybody, obviously there's a little bit of a love fest here, but I hope that you're actually understanding why that love fest exists, because Shane is just such an incredibly energetic and inspiring person.
Thanks, man.
And yeah, I'm glad this is the second in our new kind of revised interview series, and I think that it's absolutely the best one, because you're setting the stage now for, okay, now where do we go from here? And this is what I want these conversations to be like going forward. And you're such an important leader in the industry. That quick question as we kind of wrap up, when we conscious everybody's time. Anything specifically that you're seeing in the Canadian market versus the American market? Any differences?
Yeah, well, most of the work that we do is actually in the America. So we're Toronto, London, Chicago, New York, and Tel Aviv, and Israel. But most of our Canadian office people in Toronto actually service U.S. clients. I mean, Air Canada is a client of ours, and they paused one global study, but they're very active on a bunch of other work that we're doing for them, because we've got to help them understand how people are going to want to travel again. Like after this, there's going to be a lot of anxiety around getting on an airplane and going somewhere. And so it's our duty to help them.
Close to people, the seats, seat distance. I mean, all of those things are going to be a plan.
Yeah. To get close to people exactly. So we've got to figure that out. Our retail clients are trying to figure out how to reinvent themselves. How is e-commerce going to look? I mean, this is going to be a massive impetus for people that maybe were a little leery about shopping online to be shopping online. So what does that look like? We've got grocery clients. What's the new format for grocery? And then most of our Canadian clients actually haven't paused their research. They see that there's an end in this. They want to have understanding, and they want to get through. I'm just really proud of the industry, that there's the people, when they really think about it, you know what, I got a job to do. And I'm just still amazed. What was the quote that I heard, is that your grandparents were asked to get up and go to war, and you're just being asked to sit on your couch for 15 days. People can't do it. And I have this chart here, I'll show it to you. It's amazing. It's from the Last Economist. These are people through a thing called City Mapper that you just need to see the shades of colors. But these are people in Manchester, Stockholm, Birmingham, and London that did not stop going out wandering around. These are people in St. Petersburg and Moscow that didn't stop. All the Italian places stopped going out because of their full lockdown. And the lockdown, I mean, it's still, it's here. I know it's hard for people to grasp. It's like taking vitamins versus painkillers. Painkillers are much easier to sell because we work in both categories. So you've got a problem, you got to solve immediately. Vitamins have a longer term benefit. So people are having trouble connecting with why staying home and sitting on their butts is important. Everybody I've talked to in research gets that. This is why I love this industry, man. Even Rex, where's Rex, my man here? I'm on this group with you, dude. I'm in a lot of groups. I'm on YPO groups. I'm on global marketing groups. I'm on global conference groups. I'm in other entrepreneurs groups. The best content and most intelligent thinking is what I'm seeing from the research community. And just seeing people going I know how to do stats. I know how to solve this problem. Here's how I'm going to solve it. So I see that all the time. And then I have this other great chart too here. This is what CEOs value across our organization in terms of people. And this says, you might not be able to see it, it says customer insight. More than ever, the CEOs are going to want customer insight. So my request of the Global Insight Illuminati is to be geeky, if you can read that. So this is the thing that people need to be. One is be genius. People in research and the work in insights are very, very smart because got a lot of exposure, a lot of different people. The next thing is to be empathetic to marketers about the challenges that they're going through and how they're freaking out about how to build brands. And then being that empathetic source of understanding of what's going on with the customers. The insights pros are essentially the channel, whether it be through data or other survey data collection instruments, to give that understanding back to the company. And then it's to be excited, not, to your point, not to get down about what's going on, but to be excited about this amazing opportunity that we've been presented as insights professionals, because we get to help lead the change. Kick ass is important. So traditionally, insights people, I think, are more introverted than extroverted. And that's just a wiring. I think that's great. And that's served a lot of insights pros well. Now is the time to lean into that fear and push out into extroversion, so that when the meetings come to be around how to go back to market, and the salespeople, the marketing people, the insights people, the finance people are there. Typically the salespeople and the marketing people are more extroverted. Don't be afraid to have that voice. People will listen to you. You have the information. You have the way to go forward to build brands once again. And because you're speaking from a point of view, don't be scared to speak up and talk about it as best as you can. And that's the whole idea of being yippy. So get out there, talk often.
I've never heard that before. So you got to define yippy for me. So
yippy.
Are you yippy, Shane? Is that really?
I'm yippy. Yippy. Maybe it's a Canadian word, but it does mean to talk quite a bit. Just don't be silent. Don't sit back in those meetings. If you have ideas, voice them. You're actually going to have a lot of impact, more impact than maybe any other area in the organization, because you've actually got the insight about how to get through this crisis and turn around and start to build these brands again.
Very cool. In short, just be Geddy Lee, right? You've got the image there. That's something I can aspire to, is to be Geddy Lee. So
yeah. And then two more things, man. Sorry, I know your audience has to go. Here's my Lenny Murphy's. Oh, take the grit report, by the way. So those of you that haven't done the Green Book survey, pretty please do it. The actual data that's in it is very, very important for all of us to figure out what our future strategy is going to be, because Lenny can't go and tell us what to do unless you actually do that, because Lenny Murphy sees the future, ladies and gentlemen. And I've been showing this at IAX for a long time. We started following Lenny's advice when he saw the future years ago. I highly suggest you follow him. Follow him on LinkedIn, follow him on Twitter. Anything that Lenny says comes from a place of extreme intelligence and insight and knowledge to what's going on. So if you're going to listen to one thing, you can do it. And then my last thing is, if anybody, we're still hiring actually. So believe it or not, through this, we actually are hiring a few open positions in different markets. If there are any companies out there that think we can partner and think that we could do amazing things together, I would really, really encourage you to reach out to me, because like we're collaborating with Deloitte right now. We bought a media agency last year that we're having amazing collaborations with. Collaborate with McKinsey on something this year as well too. If there's things you think we can do that we can work on together to use an emotional map like this to figure out how to position brands, and then figure out how to bring those positionings to life across packages, products, shopper marketing, advertising, please reach out, because we'd love to collaborate.
And I know from experience that you practice that. You practice what you preach. You partnered with, Zappy and Recollective and Vision Critical, and those are just off the top of my head, right? Companies that I know that you've talked to over the years and have done stuff with. So Google surveys. So
Google surveys.
Practice what you preach. Yep.
And then here, because I know you're going to kick me off soon because you're a busy man, always busy man. This offer for you to get access to BetterHelp, it'd truly be my pleasure. If you want to get access to online counseling, you can use our Hotspexs account. All you got to do is send me an email. It's totally confidential. All of our staff are doing it. I do it. I'm on this thing twice a day. And believe it or not, it's something simple as just keeping a journal. Journaling is very, very healing for a brain that's under stress and anxiety and fear. And then counselors read your journal. So it's not like you need to have video conferences with them, but someone will be basically keeping an eye on you and will reach out if they think that they need to talk to you about having a problem.
That's great. Scoot your head so I can see your address, Shane. Link to the side.
It's Shane. Yeah, it's Shane.Skillen@Hotspexs.com.
It's an amazing offer. And
it's my
thank
pleasure.
you, Shane.
It's my pleasure.
I think that's what. Last thing, I one of the most heartening aspects of all this is just seeing people rise to the occasion, right? I mean, yes, there's some assholes, and we were hearing the asshole stories, but I'm hearing far more hero stories, right? Of people just stepping up and being, loving and considerate and compassionate and kind. And you're evidence of that. I try and be evidence of that, and I'm sure that most of the people watching this are. And ultimately, that's what's going to get us through that foundation of just pulling things together.
Cool, man.
So,
And then I appreciate you saying that. And like I said, we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing that from our staff. We're seeing everybody help everybody. And we just hope society is gonna do that, because I mean, humanity is an amazing thing. It'll prevail. It might suck for the next little bit. I think the governments are doing all the right moves. I think they learned stuff from 2008 in terms of how to pour stimulus into the economy. And there'll be some good that comes out of this. I think the U.S. medical system will get overhauled as a result of this, which we've been hoping for, watching from Canada down into the South for years. I think different things will happen in government, and it's like, never let a crisis go to waste. And you know, here we are in one. And then other good things happen too. Like my final recommendation, which I never would have had time to do otherwise, but now I have time to watch Netflix. The best thing I've ever seen content in my life anywhere is the Formula One series on Netflix called Drive to Survive.
right.
If you have not seen this, you gotta watch it. And you remember I told you this, because send me a thank you later if you watch it, enjoy it. I've yet to meet someone who does not like this. In fact, if you don't like it, don't even let me know, because I probably will have a hard time processing the fact that someone wouldn't like it. But this is, see, even in these times of crisis, you get opportunities to do things you just normally wouldn't get to do. Like, as if I would have time to watch 30 hours of Formula One documentary content. But given our situation, I've actually had that luxury to watch it.
Oh, that's great, Shane. Thank you. This won't be the last time that we do this, for sure. I heard you mention you were running off to the cottage, so enjoy that. Enjoy that time. Give your family my best. Tell your whole team that they get my best as well. And just thanks for all that you do.
Thank you, Lenny. Thanks for you too, pal. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right.
Be well. Stay positive.
You too.